Hi everyone, welcome to Buckle Up Podcast. I'm Natalia Earl and I'm a certified business and life coach that loves talking to people. I'm fascinated by humans and how our brain works. What is it that makes a decision good or bad, and how does that decision ultimately shape our path and destiny? Everyone loves to talk about success, but what about the flip side? How about adversity? Failure is such a big and often necessary part of life, and it's simply unavoidable. So I invite you to join me on this inspiring, honest, unpolished interview show with breathtakingly real conversations that go deep on setbacks and hardships that are part of the puzzle that ultimately lead to growth, discovery of inner greatness, and what makes us resilient. Grab your helmet and buckle up, people. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But what a ride it will be. Today's guest is Kuryla. In early 2005, Misha was home with her first child, then an infant, when she heard a news story on a cupcake store in California, which was taking off in popularity and sales. She loved baking and figured she would try her hand at making cupcakes and cakes in her home. Baking in her own kitchen, Misha initially gifted her cupcakes to friends and family, but soon decided to donate her delicious treats to a charity event. That's when she connected with her first wholesale client, and the trajectory of the business changed. From homegrown beginnings, things moved quickly. Today, Misha'S Cupcakes operates 6 locations and has numerous wholesale accounts throughout South Florida. More than 10,000 cupcakes are freshly baked each day, and the menu includes over 36 flavors with specialty flavor introduced throughout the year.
Oh, it just seemed like an easy thing. Well, like it's not, but we all like you have these dreams of, oh, I'm going to be this cute baker with my little outfit and like my baby's going to be at my hip. Yay. And so then I decided I was going to do that because I wanted to stay home. And like there was a lot of laughter. I mean, my ex-husband, he's an ex for a reason,
Right.
was like he was like, that's dumb. And it was tough because I was like, for some reason it just resonated with me. And I think that like I think we get callings, right? You get moments
Mm-hmm.
where something is saying, um, hey, here's something that it might sound completely ridiculous, but it's for you. And so you can take it and make it into something that's worthwhile, or you can ignore it and then you have to wait maybe a little longer for the next calling. And so I was like, I'm going to give this a try. So when I started, there was a lot of pushback, because
Mm-hmm.
I had gone to an Ivy League school and I had gotten my master's then later after in business. And it was kind of like, what are you doing? Like you're wasting your education. And it was kind of uncomfortable. And so at that point, I was like, you know what? Screw all you people. My mom was like, yeah, do this. And my dad was pretty much like for it too.
Mm-hmm.
And I started. And so I just started making, and then I would take them to my neighbors and I would take them to my friends and I would take them to, it was like stressful. And
Mm-hmm.
so I have this baby and then I'm going to deliver cupcakes to, I used to deliver to Myra, which was a salon. And so I would go there and I would put her on my hip, grab the cupcakes box, and I would go in and I give her to one of the girls and then go deliver the cupcakes, take them into their little break room area. And then, so Ella basically was handled by tons of people. I would go to the Books and Books on Miami Beach and I'd do the same. And I walk in and I'd be like, take her. And so one of the girls or one of the kitchen guys would take the baby and then I'd go back and get the stuff. And so it was like, it was, it was a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
it just felt like, well, no one's watching her. All of a sudden, my ex-husband is like now working, whereas before there was not much of that going on. So I'm like, I felt very alone, to be honest with you. My mom at the time was helpful, so every once in a while, she'd help me with Ella, and so it kind of went from that into my house. Then I knew there was something going on because the business was doing well, like it was catching on. And my ex had said to me, and I'm going to tie this all into the biggest adversity because of what he said. He said in that first year, if you don't bring in $55,000, which that arbitrary number, I'm like thinking, okay, guy, that much money the first year, then you have to shut this down. And I think I was a different person back then. I had been raised in a different, like more in a patriarchal, like your father is the authority. And so I think I had then mimicked that into my marriage, which is why we aren't married anymore. Because then when you finally come out of the clouds,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, what have I been doing? And so, but at the time it was a great impetus to just push me to do this thing. And I sold more than $55,000 of cupcakes that year from my house. And I was like, wow. So from that point until I opened a store and then this store and that store, blah, blah, blah. And my greatest mistake was in 2000.
Amazing. See, I always say when you have people laughing at you or telling you no, that's
Yeah.
when you know you have something very special.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I mean, also because you have to wonder, like, what is it? They think that you're a cop out, or they think that it's stupid, but I think also people are envious of a passion that you feel, right? Because they see that you're determined, and most people don't find that. And so it's almost like, well, I'm going to make fun of it because that's something I don't have. And like, it seems kind of dumb anyway. But I guess if you really, really want to do it, you'll figure it out, right?
For sure. For sure. Yes. And if you don't try, you never know.
I think with COVID, I know everybody struggled and has their story, right? And I think that, those moments of, uh-oh, I am literally screwed right now. When we closed March, whatever it was, March 18th, I think, we had 75 employees. And at that point, I had just closed another store. So we were at 7 stores. And I was like, it was me and my original employee who had started with me in 2006. And like one kid who would continue to work, one driver, and my COO. And so I went back to baking. I went back to decorating. I went back to packing. I went back to delivering. And it was really hard, I have to admit. And, my thought was, I need to maintain my wholesale accounts. And not that I had that many, but so, like we would sell to Milam's. And since everyone was obviously still shopping for food, we did sell a lot more during COVID, which was like that check would come in and I felt like I wanted to kiss the toes of the president. His name is Norm. I just wanted to and we had to figure out a way to make money. And so Uber Eats and Postmates, I mean, yeah, you do that, but the truth is that it's 30% of your sales. So it's like a lot that they take off of it. So we started this kind of like, if you purchase a certain amount of cupcakes, and we will then take them to the caregivers in the hospitals that were battling with the COVID stuff, we'll match it, whatever amount you purchase, then we'll match it in cupcakes, right? So you give me $100 and then I'll match it in like 75 cupcakes. So I don't know, people came out of the woodwork and it's really cool when we were able to do that. And so then I would go to the hospitals and take the cupcakes to the hospitals. Damn, did I learn to never let go of the reins when it comes to the finances of the business. Also to look, I mean, you should trust your husband, right? We should be able to trust our spouse. But then again, perhaps in retrospect, a postnup. And that's why I tell all the ladies I know, get a prenup. No matter what, get a prenup. because it can ruin your business, you know? So, I mean, there's dirty details and all this stuff, but it's just like that was the one thing out of all of the other chaos and craziness that we still have.
Right,
But
right.
that was really tough to come back from. And I feel